We're live. What's up, YouTube? It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another live commentary. This one is, as I promised, is the 1996 Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Maximum Risk, with him and the always lovely Natasha Henstridge. This is the movie she did right after Species. Good for her. She got to do an action movie with one of our leading, action stars of the past, 3 decades. Yes, I'm doing the podcast now. I was going to do it tomorrow, but I'm like, no. I got to do some work tomorrow, so let's do Maximum Risk. Now, I saw this movie a long time ago on the cable as well. This one is a little bit more intense than Double Team. It's not as silly. And it's more R-rated. That movie was mostly R-rated for the violence. This one is about an hour and 41 minutes. So it's a little bit longer than Double Team by like 10 minutes. But it's still not 2 hours. That's why I'm starting now. Little Sims, behave. Maximum Risk. I really do look good without all that facial hair. I don't look like I'm 45 years old. It's a great looking mountain shot again. South of France again, just like in Double Team. Different director though. This is Ringo Lam, the different director. He also did Replicant, which I thought was decent, but it was one of his lesser films compared to his late 80s, early 90s stuff. And mid 90s. Van Damme is from Belgium, not France. Just to be clear. Olivier Gruner, he's from France. He's from Belgium. 2 different countries. It's like calling Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's German. Weren't you going to do this tomorrow? Yeah, but I want to do it today. I have time and it's a beautiful day out. So why not? Sorry, I don't have cocaine. I got a lot of Disney reward points today, so I'm going to try to use them in November, December. This is a good stunt. That's awesome. That was really done. It wasn't CGI. That's very dangerous. Try jumping on a roof of a fire escape in New York City. You'll collapse probably in like 2 seconds because of how rusty these fire escapes are. It's not as stable as the ones in Europe. No, they didn't make a sequel to this. This or Double Team. Because this was in the Van Damme coke era where he was just coked out of his mind throughout some of his films after Street Fighter. Because Street Fighter, you can tell that he's just like shaking and, he's sweating and, he just looks out of it. I would never use cocaine, ever. Because I can take the real thing. I could take the organic sugar. That's just as powerful as cocaine. When it hits your brain, you're like, woo! And it doesn't have the side effects of cocaine. Just, that it triggers my mind. Yeah. I don't use drugs. Look at my face. I don't want to have a big lump on my head like right here. I don't. I want to be safe. I want to keep my face, appealing for the rest of my life. It's a good chase scene. I wish the movie Scorpio had a chase scene like this because that movie was so boring. It didn't have a chase scene until like the last 20 minutes of the movie. You don't do that. You don't make people wait. Le Plume. Yeah. This is not the last Van Damme movie I'll do. Maybe in December I'll do on Universal Soldier, the original. That's awesome. I was going to watch this on Netflix, but I'm like, no, I'll just do a podcast for it. It's better. Then I can rewatch it and talk to you guys about it. That's great. Real cars. There's none of the CGI garbage that you have in like Fast 4 or Fast and the Furious 9. It really did these stunts with professional stunt coordinators. Because I'm not doing one for Assassination Games. It's a terrible movie. And until he's not dead. Van Damme's not dead. It was somebody else. Just mute this for a second. Wait, is that the mute button? Yeah. No. You stupid. I said mute, not... Phew. Did you notice that my movie wasn't like the character we all know and love since 1988? Yeah, I know that. Some people just think these movies are ridiculous. I'm like, action movies are ridiculous, guys. In Fast and the Furious, they can jump on buses and cars like they're superheroes. Van Damme is not a superhero in these movies. He gets hurt. He gets injured. He actually, his life is at stake at all times. He is not a superhero. And the movie, while it is an hour and 40 minutes, at least Van Damme's movies are not overly long. Because some of these action stars now, they have to have a movie that's over 2 hours long. I'm like, I'm exhausted, guys. I don't need a movie to be that long. Black Panther 2 is already going to be 2 hours and 41 minutes, an hour longer than this movie. Why? Because Marvel wanted to throw in 14 new characters in it. Ironheart, Namor, a new villain. Shuri's going to get way more screen time because Boseman's not there, but we'll see what happens next week. Mikhail. Shuswave. Of course. It's a good movie. So far, it's a really entertaining movie. And Natasha Henstridge, while not French, she is Canadian. So they are descendants of the French. They just live right above us in America, in North America, instead of all the way in Europe. Hey, it's a smaller commute. I want to go to Canada next year. My family already went without me. I don't have a passport. I need a new passport in 2023. I'm going to get one. Yeah, it was a beautiful day today. It was like almost 70 degrees. I'm like in the fall, because it's the fall here in New York City. In Australia, it's like the summer. It's like it's high 70s. Weird, huh? American, yeah. Van Damme always has that intense look on his face, even when he played villains, because he did No Retreat, No Surrender, but he's not the lead in that. Look at the dog. because I was only 12. I was 11 when this came out. I didn't see a lot of Van Damme stuff in the 90s because I only saw Street Fighter. I didn't make Chucky. It doesn't bother me, Little Sims, because you're a kid, and they butcher Chucky a lot worse in the remake and in Curse of Chucky, or was it Cult? No, Curse. There, he looks ridiculous. He looks like a girl. At least in the first three movies, he looks right. And in Bride, he at least is still, he has those scars on his face. It's still more dignified than him having digital eyes in the remake. That looks way worse. It looks like a toy. It looks like a digital toy instead of a doll, you know? I have a lot of toys from my childhood, but they don't have digital eyes like that. I don't blame you either. We're about 11 minutes in, yeah. Got to cut my hair in a few weeks before Thanksgiving. Because, yeah, Black Friday, I'm going to go out. I just need to know what they're going to have, what's going to be on sale at Target, because Best Buy is closed in my area, so I can't go to Best Buy this year on Black Friday. It won't be a first. Excuse me, because when I went Black Friday shopping in the past, I would skip Best Buy altogether, especially when it was too crowded. Now it's barely full. See, Josh, I don't hate people that are French or Belgium or Canadian. Just let me be able to understand you. Leah Sadawa can understand her. It's because they keep putting her in movies that she either dies in or she's just a side character that doesn't do much. It's not hate. It's just that they don't use her that much. Yeah, at least Ghost Protocol, she had like the first half of the movie, she had a presence. I didn't make a reference to the original sucker. We all know it. Yeah. This is still a really good looking movie, just like Double Team was. I did Double Team first because I wanted to see that one first. It was shorter. Until Death is what, an hour, and it's also an hour and 41 minutes, but it's decent. It's Van Damme much older in the late 2000s, so but that was when he was in direct-to-video land. This was released in theaters, Maximum Risk, in 1996. And I love Natasha Henstridge. I would love to see her at Comic-Con. She could sign my DVD of Species or the whole 10 yards, the whole 9 yards, because she's adorable. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Even to this day, she just had a birthday. She's 47 now, 48. Yeah. Amazingly, gorgeously talented film actress. Mm-hmm. There's more explosions. They don't break as much glass in this movie compared to Double Team. Is like every 5 minutes a glass window was broken. It like was shattered or broken. Please help. Those are real flames too, guys. There's no CGI in this movie. Van Damme didn't use heavy CGI until later in his career. Where like, it's like after the 90s, filmmakers are like, you know what? We don't need real stuntmen and real effects and real people fighting on screen. We're just going to have a bunch of digital shit. That's why I hate Avatar. Because you look at something like this, and there's real people on the screen with real flames, real buildings, real cars, real nearly everything. Yet, with Avatar, it's all a bunch of blue cats doing stupid things. It's a video game. It's a freaking video game. Where do I use the controller to play one of these blue cats? That's what it looks like. I can't attach myself to just CGI. I need something else. At least in Doctor Strange, he's human. He's not a CGI effect all the time. Cumberbatch's performance is real. With these blue cats, I don't like these blue cats. It's James Cameron whacking himself off while on LSD. That's what you get. I saw your message, Little Sims. I mean, I make a reference. I get it. I miss the old school way of filming back in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and even the early 2000s. Once everything got so digital, I'm like, yeah, we get it already. It's a digital world. But sometimes you can do things old school. I still use DVDs. I have a lot of DVDs at home. Excuse me. That's right. Gecko. So there's a one glass window broken, but this one's on fire, to be fair. I'm not saying I want a Van Damme that's almost 60 years old or whatever, how old he is now, to like do the same splits he did when he was 30. But do something that's actually on screen, man. CGI animated movies, I can let them go. They're for kids mostly, and it's not real. It's just, it's a computer animated film. But if it's supposed to be live action, let it be live action, James Cameron. Titanic, people didn't just see it for the digital boat. They saw it for the love story and the music and the beautiful cinematography and the performances, not the freaking CGI. You idiot. I'm going to beat you up if I go to the theater and you could take a piss while you see Avatar 2. You're not going to put a hand on me because I'm not going to the theater in December. So suck it, JC. Suck it. You made good movies in the past. You haven't made a good movie since True Lies. And that was a remake of a French movie. So even that, you had to remake it. So, but it's still good. It's just too long. Cameron hasn't made like a straight up action movie without CG cats in a long time. That would be like if John McTiernan came out of retirement and did a all digital movie instead of another Die Hard or something, Do what you know is best for the audience, not for your pockets. Cameron's never going to need money ever again. Two of his movies are the two biggest movies in the world. And I know people are going to say, you're wrong. This movie's going to make $6 trillion. Well, I'm not giving it any money. Just like when the first one came out. I didn't go to the theater. I waited till it was in the Blockbuster kiosk, rented it for $1, and I was bored. So that was just me. After the Star Wars sequel trilogy, I gave up on sci-fi movies ever being epic in December. Because like I said, next year we're going to have more CGI cats they're going to do and more unnecessary remakes and more sequels to movies that didn't need sequels in the first place. But there's a ray of hope. 1968. It's evidence. Because Van Damme's done some crappy films too. Because Derailed is one of his worst films ever after Street Fighter. Because I'm like, oh my god, all the CGI is terrible, and the main actress in that movie is horrible. She's absolutely god awful. She brings the movie down for me a lot. She's the actress from Mulholland Drive. No, not Naomi Watts. The other one. Blech. Just blech. Fly to the moon. Yeah, I haven't been on a plane since 2011. It's been a while. 10 years after 9/11. I'm not scared. It's just that my family never wants to take me on a plane. I'm going next year. Even if I have to go alone to go to like Canada or Hawaii or something. I can handle it. There's New York City. Yeah, the two towers are here in this movie because it was 96. New York City. Manhattan, because they usually, when they show New York, Brooklyn Bridge, yeah. There it is. There's Manhattan Island. I go there every year. Even during the pandemic, guys, I didn't care. Well, 2020 was the only year I didn't go to Manhattan because of COVID, but I went last year, and I went this year several times. Serial killer. Ooh. Death Row Mad Dog. Yeah, taxi cabs. Remember when that was a thing in New York City? Now people just take Ubers. Yes, I do know what it means. That doesn't make any sense. Bohemian. It is, especially now. Did you go? Have you been to Manhattan during COVID, especially last year when Omicron happened? I was there. I was in Manhattan. There were people everywhere, guys. Tennessee is a very small state, Josh. You probably have a population of maybe like 1,000 or 2,000 people. I live in a city with over 8 million people in 5 different boroughs all over. And there are pedestrians and there's freaking foreigners everywhere here. In Tennessee, you'd be lucky to find somebody Spanish over there, but in New York City, they're everywhere. Manhattan is so crowded, no matter what time of the day it is or night. Even during Omicron, it was. Oh, black stereotypes. Hey, look, it's discount Morgan Freeman. That was 1996, guys. Back then, they would people like this would try to steal your Michael Jordan sneakers. Yeah, they didn't. That didn't happen to me. That's why I didn't wear Jordans when I was a kid. I never wore Jordans. Yeah, he does look like Morgan Freeman, and Morgan Freeman had a brother. Yeah. Don't touch my Jordans. Yeah, a lot of people had to suffer because of that. Because for a pair of shoes, not Michael Jordan's autograph on a poster or something. No, his a pair of shoes. I've never heard of something so stupid in all my life. That's why when I got older, I always buy my shoes or find them. Because if I ever got a pair of Michael Jordan shoes now, no one would care. They would say nice shoes, but uh they wouldn't, cut my head off for it because it's just a pair of shoes. Hmm. That's why that joke in White House down cracks me up when the president of the United States, Jamie Foxx, puts on a pair of Jordans and he's kicking the guy. Said, "Don't touch my Jordans." And I'm like, that's so over the top. I'm like, it's not 1995 or 96 anymore, dude. Because 96 he came back, Michael Jordan. Well, 95 and in 96 he won his first championship since 1993. So don't touch my Jordans. The film is a little bit slow. There's some good action in the first like 20 minutes, but it really kicks in once Natasha Henstridge shows up. Mm. I know, Josh. I know, guys. I know. I'm a randy heterosexual man. That's bound to happen. I see a woman, and then the Looney Tune music goes in my head. Yeah. Little Odessa. There's a train. Bohemia. Like Bohemian Rhapsody. Uh, is she singing in French? Is Bohemia French or I don't know? Where's Natasha? Where is she? I thought that was Rachel Weisz. I'm like, no, she was doing something else in '96. I think like Chain Reaction or something. The chat's kind of empty because they thought I was doing this podcast tomorrow. No, today. Tomorrow I'm taking a break, and then Monday I'll do another podcast. And there she is, 25 minutes into the movie. Oh, dear God. You're such a woman. Yeah, I act like when I see a woman and for 5 seconds, my brain processes it and then boom. She's feisty too. If Natasha Henstridge did that to me now, my pants would pop open. Yeah, my zipper would just go boom, would like just spring out. Wow, just unbelievably gorgeous, man. And her voice is so soothing. Oh my God. After seeing all these Bintos in Marvel and in the Star Wars movies and in all these like DC stuff, it is a breath of fresh air to hear a voice that's sweet like that. She's like Mackenzie Davis, Josh. I like her voice. I'm attracted to women with feminine, sweet, low voices like that. Oh my God. Every one of my friends says that she's gorgeous. So Josh, Levi, Anthony. You are a cat. Ow. She was going to be my choice for Captain Marvel. If they had cast Captain Marvel in the 90s or the early 2000s before Brie Larson was even born, she would be my choice before she was in a movie. Because like I said, it would have been a fantastic Captain Marvel, in my opinion. Because Brie is part Canadian, so she knows. She has that gorgeous blonde hair and those eyes that will never quit. Yeah, people like, why do you have a Captain Marvel poster on your wall? I'm in love with that girl. That woman right there is the reason I enjoyed that movie so much. If that was Natalie Dormer, I would have been bored. Yvonne. Who's the villain in this movie? I forgot. I don't know who the villain is. I forgot because I remember Mickey Rourke in Double Team. I prefer Double Team because even as over the top as it is, it's a shorter movie and it doesn't quit on the action. Yeah, if Natasha Henstridge ever kisses me in the lips like that, oh my God, I'm going to just lose it. Because guess what, guys? If you see my YouTube videos since 2013, every time I mention a beautiful woman, you see my reaction on my face when you see my face. Wait, let me put the arrow up here. I don't want to end the stream yet. We're not even close to being done with the movie yet. So good, man. I miss action movies like this. The low IMDb rating for this and the low Rotten Tomatoes score. No, people are enjoying these action movies more now than they were 10 years ago before the pandemic. Because before you had to rent these movies. Now you can stream them. It's on Netflix. I would recommend this movie if you haven't seen it yet. Ugh. This guy looks like Flea from Back to the Future. I think it was in 2 and 3. I don't think he was in the first one. Yeah. He was also in an episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. He's a good actor and a good singer, Flea. From the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't care how weird an actor looks. If they can act, let them act. First chapter. Yeah, now you have Uber drivers because they have to get a star rating and everything. I've been on a couple of Ubers. It's just I get car sick, so I have to take a pill before I get in, a chewable stomach pill to keep my stomach down. I don't know why I get car sick. I didn't get car sick when I was a kid. It's an interesting movie, and I'm glad that it's in New York City because we already were in the south of France in Double Team, and that was crazy because they go to Rome and then they blow it up. They blow up the Colosseum. Oh, you are not lying, villain. You are not lying. She is Henstridge is one of the most gorgeous Canadian actresses I've ever seen in my life. Why? She was a model first. I can tell. Mm, you are such a cat. I know Wet Movie 1, you are the luckiest man in the world. You got to meet that actress. If I met her, I would go, because I'm not like you. I'm different. I react to stuff a lot crazier because I have ADHD. I know him, he gets crazy with his friends, but with me, I'm like, yeah. I see a woman and the dopamines in my brain go boom. It's like a light bulb that goes on in my brain or electricity in the brain and it gets me. I saw Rachel at Comic-Con and I couldn't move. I was like, yeah, this movie does get really brutally violent. So Little Sims, I don't blame him for not wanting to see it. It is still a very hard R rating. Damn. Hmm. He was too Harding? What? Yeah. And she can act. So if people say she can't act, watch this movie. Watch the whole 9 yards. Even her, even her cameos are really good. Yes, a woman's hand. It's just some of the one. Gorgeous girl, you mean? Ooh, that did not age well. He's like, I'm going to beat you up. I'm like, please don't do that. We've seen enough of that in the after movies and 365 days and all that. No, abuse is not the answer for any relationship, no matter what it is. I know, I know what he was going to say. This is an R-rated movie. It's not a PG-13. I'm shocked that she hasn't been a Bond girl yet because she's beautiful. I say you could still put her as a Bond girl. Age doesn't matter to me. It's all over him. Because I'm not a homosexual. I will get revved up for any woman that even touches me. That's not, that's free of COVID or any STDs. No, you can put your hands on me any day, Natasha. Oof. Yeah, please no. I don't like to be restrained. I like to put my hands on the human body. Is she grabbing his ass? Yeah, it's usually the other way around. That's weird. Yeah, nowadays they would not do that because it would be reversed. Usually, a guy puts his hands on a girl's ass instead of a girl putting a guy's ass. That's weird. The '90s were a weird time, guys, and the early 2000s. You kitten. Ugh. Mm, See, I told you she was a tigress. I don't like an aggressive woman, just a woman that knows what she wants. Mm. Oh my God, those bosoms. Yeah, I can't do it well. Trust me. We're 35 minutes in, and which haunts you more, Bentos or religious? What do you think? Classic film collector. It's not that hard to figure out. One of them gave me, haunted me for years, like a bad drug trip or like, withdrawal. Yeah. What do you think will hurt me more in the last 7 years? I haven't seen a religious movie in years, and I won't. I'm not doing any podcasts for those. I just refuse to. The closest is going to be Christmas episodes of Full House or whatever, which I still need to do. I love how physical this movie is. Yeah, I don't know why my mom likes to see we see movies and then the guy and the girl have sex or kiss and she's rolling her eyes like, oh, when is this going to be over? I'm like, that's the way it should be, to me anyway. Knowing you, I think Bintos haunt you more. Yeah, because they're in everything, and they won't shut up. Most of them just talk and talk and talk and talk, and I'm like, please, just again, the Asian, don't bother. No Asian bashing, please. Omega. Mm-hmm. That's the worst character in the Bad Batch cartoon. I did finish Tales of the Jedi. It was good, but they rushed the episodes. With making them less than 15 minutes, it was like really, really rushed, especially at the end. Ahsoka kills a character in like 2 seconds. I'm like, that's it? What a tease. Disney needed to make that show a little bit longer. I could take this hat off for now. Just so I can more female body. Oh man. Is Ren and Stimpy overrated? No, it's got its funny moments. It's just a little bit weird. It's one of the weirdest cartoons of the 90s. Because there was a lot of eye bulging and all that, and there was a lot of humor that wasn't meant for children. I was a kid when it came out. I do like the cab driver because they make him a character. He's not just a one-off character that's for in the movie for less than a minute. Damn, more broken glass. Yeah, they shoot it this time. They don't just crash through it. Yep, semi-automatic weapons in New York City. Well, so you saw that they had record stores. They barely have those anymore. Take that, your t-shirt stand. An arcade, man. I haven't seen one of those in years. The only places that have arcades now are theme parks. And of course, they have arcade machines at like Best Buy, Target, or whatever. They sell them for like $800. It's not worth it. You can get the same game on the Switch or on the PlayStation Network or something like that. Plus, it's not the same as having a physical copy like this or like this games on the Switch. Yep, you got them. Are you going to see my second movie again, Little Sims, next week? Halloween just ended, and I don't want to see anything horror this weekend, so. Wait until next week. I'll leave one comment. That's it. Yeah, the cab driver, yeah, he died, I think, yeah. They shot him with a semi-automatic. But at least he was in the movie for more. Some people only knew Natasha Henstridge of Species. No, I've seen a lot of her films. She's just a lovely, lovely girl. We're 40 minutes in, so we're about almost halfway through the film. That poor man, all he was doing was his job, and he gets murdered by a bunch of crazy freaking Russian guys that might as well be the Russian villains from not Black Widow. I meant the Hawkeye TV show. I hope she does go to Comic-Con next year. I would treat her like a queen because I do that to every woman that I meet at Comic-Con. Even Harley Quinn, and I met one of hers, uh, the black and white Harley Quinn. I mean, the red and black with the white face. That's the Harley Quinn I would take a picture with, not the red and blue one. That one just looks hot topicy. Or Spencer's. It is called Maximum Risk. The film is called Maximum Risk, not Maximum Safety. I tried to tell you this in your last stream, but I know Tommy Kirk was, and why do you hate him? He was a gay actor in Disney, and when they found out, he got fired. Nowadays, they embrace it like, oh, you're part of the LGBT, come right in. We're gonna pander for you people. Why? Disney's supposed to be family friendly, and you're making films that are not for kids now. Strange World is not going to be for kids. Don't let that animation fool you. I'm telling you, it's going to be for adults. One of the characters is queer. I know already. You don't have to tell me. I know. Her hair's a lot darker here than in Species. Her hair was like a lot brighter. It was like light blonde. I guess this is when she colored her hair for the end of Species when she's a brunette before she turns into the alien form completely. And that movie still holds up. I still need to get the second one on Blu-ray so I can hear the commentary. Mm-hmm. Well, Van Damme did have a twin brother also in Double Team, not Double Team, Double Impact from the early 90s. Some parents, I think that G and PG are 100% equal. They're not. They're not. Now a PG movie can have a gay kiss in an animated film for kids. Yeah, that wasn't needed. And Kanto did not have that. I wasn't crazy about it, but I thought the movie was okay. It didn't have that agenda in it. Neither did Frozen or Luca. Luca was two friends sharing a bond. They weren't gay for each other. Get out of here. You and your sick minds, Disney. It's a kid's movie. I never felt like it was gay. When I feel it in my knees. I like start shaking, and I'm like, why is this in the movie? Representation is not always needed. This movie doesn't have it because it was the mid '90s, and we're trying to make an entertaining action thriller without the force agendas in it. Gecko chop, baby, yeah. And there's a lot of hand-to-hand combat here, not just explosions and ooh, Van Damme. He just twisted that guy's arm. People don't know the difference between a movie for kids and a movie for adults. That's why the Bob's Burgers movie didn't do well, because you can watch the show on TV any day of the week and stream it on certain streaming services, and yet the movie came out so late, and it's not a kids movie. Just because it's animated doesn't mean it's for kids. So parents didn't take their kids to that, or Lightyear. Yet DC Super Pets did better. Why? Good word of mouth. The movie's actually well written. It's funny. It has a heart to it. And they don't have two gay dogs licking each other. No, it doesn't have that. Hello. Hello, you beautiful creature. Oh, my God, those bosoms. Oh, my God. Yes, Van Damme, I see them too. Absolutely scrumptious body. Oh, my God. I bet guys in the theater were like, woo! Yeah, I would have. If I was like 18 in 1996, I would have just lost it. That's in French. A sniper, huh? How much time do I have? Let me see. It's 58%. Yeah, I think I'll make it. Get in here. Yeah, Van Damme's not cracking jokes in this one. He's more serious in this movie than Double Team. I'll say. Take that, Baldy. Opinion on Georgina Campbell's performance in King Arthur. No, I don't even. I never forgot she was in that movie. That movie was so horrendous. I'm like, that's why I didn't see Barbarian, because I'm like, I scan these women before I check. But I still see the movie. I check IMDb. I check where she's from and what accent she has, and I'm like, oh, you're a Binto. I pass. Sorry. Even the Woman King, I couldn't see that. Not because of Viola Davis, because of some of the other cast members. I avoid movies with Bintos when I have to, because I'm tired. I'm spent. You saw his face, like more, and that was a mirror, so that counts as broken glass. It's cracked, but it was close. Yeah, this is a fun podcast. I'm not having as much fun as last time, but I'm still enjoying it. She was in that horrible King Arthur movie. Everybody sucked in that movie. Charlie Hunnam, Jude Law, freaking Eric Bana in his cameo. Even the that Spanish French chick that was the Merlin character with the powers. Yeah, nobody was good in that movie. Even the effects sucked. Yeah, that movie was just painful to watch. Mm. How is this villain more compelling than the villain in Black Widow? Because he's in the film more. They literally Ray Winstone could have been cut out of that movie as a villain, and they should have just made Yelena the villain or the Taskmaster. That would have been enough, but no, they had to tease us. This isn't the Taskmaster; it's Ola Kurylenko in disguise, and it went nowhere. Petro, that's Wanda's brother's name. Even her accent was better than Yelena's. Josh has to admit that's one of the sexiest accents that Elizabeth Olsen's ever done. Because I'm like, I didn't even know what to expect. And I'm like, yeah, it fit her because she looks, Sokovian, or Slovakian or Russian or whatever. She can pass for it because of those gorgeous eyes of hers. And her performance was powerful. That's why she got so much screen time in Multiverse of Madness, Civil War, and Infinity War because she can carry a film on her own. I believe in her. Respectable. It is. This is still an entertaining movie. Like I said, there's some slow spots in the beginning, but the third act, I remember it having a lot of action. That's why I saw Double Team first because it's a more crazier movie. Like it's way more over the top. The screenplay for Disney's upcoming Snow White remake was co-written by Greta Gerwig. I just don't care. You're not going to top the animated version from the 40s or the 30s, whenever it came out. And the last Snow White movie I saw was Mirror Mirror, which was decent. It had its moments. It's not nearly as good as the Disney one. The last one I really liked was Snow White and the Huntsman because it was different. It had the Huntsman not just be a cameo, but an active supporting character in that movie. Didn't like Kristen Stewart. Don't. I'm sorry. She shakes too much. Every movie she's like this. With her big teeth and everything. It's too much. I can't take her seriously. Not even in Spencer or these other movies that she did. I cannot take her seriously. Plus, she goes to the Oscars in shorts. It was freezing when the Oscars happened back in April. Loomis, wink, wink, a Halloween reference. The problem with these Disney remakes is that they're the same movie, but longer and more boring. Not all of them are terrible. I liked Peach Dragon. That was its own thing. I liked Pinocchio, but that was only because the original was an old movie. But The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, they're all the same freaking movies. But 2 hours long. Why? Disney just sold out. Like they just want to make movies to make money. And even when they put them on Disney Plus, they're not as good as the originals. They're just not. This movie has some good actors in it. Next week, I'm going to try to do a double bill. That means, yes, Little Sims Classic Film Collector, I will be doing two movies in the same day. So I have to do it early. Maybe next Tuesday or Wednesday or something. That's a good point. Van Damme breaks a lot of people's arms in this movie. Awesome kick. That was a great kick. I'm surprised he didn't break that guy's nose with that kick. He kicks like Batman kicks, like you don't see it coming. And I'm glad they didn't do a stupid twist where Natasha Hendricks was the villain the whole time. That would have been terrible. Because remember the movie Along Came a Spider? I liked the movie until we got to the ending where what was her name? Monica Potter was the villain. I'm like, no, the villain was the guy. The what was it? Not Michael Ironside. What was his name? Jeff Wincott. He was the Michael Wincott or Jeff Wincott, one of them. He was the main villain, and then no, I'm the villain. Ha ha ha. I'm like, that was just not needed. And Van Damme's accent never bothered me in any movie. It only bothered me in Street Fighter because uh, Guile's supposed to be American and he has a Belgium accent and is like half of his dialogue makes no sense. Like "wake up call" and "are you man enough to fight with me?" I'm like, oh my god, man enough. He doesn't have horrible dialogue in a movie like this or in Double Team. Or when he says that's what we both want. Is that right? Am I right? I'm like, ooh, it's horrible. I guess you can't act when you're high on coke or heroin or whatever. Why is their voice so sweet? Yes. I'd take you anywhere in the world, Natasha. Anywhere. It's a good performance. It's a more subtle performance for Van Damme, but he kicks when he has to. And it's a good, it's entertaining. Critics just thought, oh, it's slow, it's boring. The woman's just there to be a damsel in distress or whatever. I'm like, no, she has a character. At least she's not annoying. What in the heezy? A toga party. What is this? Animal House? Toga, toga, toga. Yeah, I still haven't seen that movie all the way through. Cara Delevingne's sister was in Legend of the Sword, as well as I just found out she's not a good actress either. She looks like a mix of Liz Gillies and Christina Ricci if she was a Binto, and I'm like, doesn't work. She's a model that can't act. Natasha can, mainly because she doesn't have to fake an accent and everything. Weren't the Russians the villains in the first John Wick movie? I think so. They were also the villains in more uh, Mission Impossible 4 and the fifth Die Hard movie as well. But this is better than Good Day to Die Hard. I can easily say that. Because at least Van Damme is awake in this movie, mostly. You're not Mikhail. He's dead. See, I knew he was going to say that. Mm-hmm. It's only 1 o'clock. And remember, guys, change your clocks tonight at 2 o'clock in the morning. You push the clock back. Impossible. Nope, I haven't seen that movie yet. Get Out. Bunch of sweaty old middle-aged guys with their chest hair. I have chest hair too, but I usually shave it off. Yeah, Carol Delevingne hasn't done anything that impressed me. She sucked in Suicide Squad, the first one. She sucked in Valerian. I didn't even finish that movie. She's just not a good actress. She's boring, and her body doesn't. It's not desirable to me. See Caitlin Dever. That's a desirable woman right there. Hmm. Bunch of half-naked men in this movie. Yeah, that's weird. Nope, don't want to see that. Cover it, please. Thank you. I almost saw male ass. When are you going to finish Valerian? Eventually, when I'm able to finish it the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm going to skip the first 15 minutes, which are the best part of the movie. But those aliens look too much like the Navi from Avatar. I was like, why are you trying to copy Avatar when you don't have the budget or the direction? Luc Besson was a good director when he did Fifth Element and Lucy and a bunch of other films, but now he's weird. It's a weird dude. Ooh. I'll finish Valerian probably next week or at the end of November. It's just it was so hard to get through the first time. Once I saw Cara Delevingne, like literally, she's in like a bikini for no reason except to throw herself at Dane DeHaan. I'm like, Dane DeHaan was miscast in that too. Yes. What'll it be? Van Damme fighting in a towel. Yeah, the muscles from Brussels, baby. And I'm never buying Valerian because I'm like, it's awful. Halloween Ends is fill in the blank. A bad way to end a trilogy that was just as bad as the sequel trilogy, right? Am I right? Because I am. Because like I said, I saw that movie, I saw that trailer, and I'm like, this is going to be a lie. But you've advertised this is the big finale between Michael and Laurie Strode, and Michael's at the end. At the end, not the beginning of the movie or the middle. At the very end. This isn't Jason Goes to Hell where you can get away with that. That was in the early '90s. At least in that movie, Jason's essence was always around. There wasn't some other killer trying to replace him. They didn't do that till 5, and that was a mistake. That's why they brought Jason back in Friday the 13th Part 6. There's a scene like this in Rush Hour 2, but I prefer this movie over Rush Hour 2 because Chris Tucker's annoying in every movie. Shut up. Shut up. I don't want to meet you at Comic Con. I'll put a sock down your throat. Actually, really, really good. I mean it. It's not good. If Michael was in the whole movie, I would say, okay, it's better than Halloween Ends. I mean, Kills. But it's not. That's what those last two movies had an advantage over this one. They Rise of Skywalker did. The last movie, Evil Dies Tonight and all that, yeah, that never happened. Instead, Michael's going to be in the background and some other guy's going to take his place. That's not what was advertised. That's like doing a Chucky movie and he shows up at the end and doesn't kill anybody till the end. And you have like Tiffany or some other character take over for him. That's not what you advertised. Stop lying to people. This movie's called Maximum Risk. It is a maximum risk for both Van Damme and for Natasha Henstridge. It's not a kid's movie. It's R-rated and it's not false advertised. There's the bus. Another chase scene, just like in the beginning of the film. Don't worry, darling. Well, I still don't want to see either one because I don't like what they did with Michael and don't worry, darling. The cast alone drove me away, far away. Hmm. You saw the Brighton Beach train. Oh, that's a train in Brooklyn. Yeah, I used to live in that area. Run, Van Damme, run. It's the Q train. That's what it looked like in the 90s. Now it looks all digital. Oh, that was too close. Oh my God. Oh man, that guy got pwned. He got Looney Tunes to death. The black phone is better than men, or is less than men. I didn't see either one of those either. Peter Pan. How convenient. He fell right into a police car. We're an hour and 7 minutes in. This guy has the most intense eyes I've seen. If there was, like I said, if there was a villain like this in Black Widow, I would have taken him more seriously. Ray Winstone doesn't play good villains. He's either switches sides or he does a terrible accent that he doesn't have. I'd rather watch that. At least Michael's in that movie, Classic Film Collector. He's not like, yeah, him getting beat up by Buster Rhymes is still more dignified than the remake, the sequel to the remake, and this new trilogy that no one wanted. Mm-hmm. A bunch of minorities in prison in this movie. And I'll take a Natasha Henstridge any day over Charlize Theron, mainly because she's not a villain and she's not I don't know. I can't say she's not a foreigner because Canadians are technically foreign, but she doesn't have an accent that just slips in and out or plays these dead serious characters like in Fury Road. I still haven't watched it because of Charlize and also because Tom Hardy's sidelined in that. People like, it's a masterpiece. I'm like, I will be the judge of that, not the critics. Dune is way better, in my opinion. Dune Part 1 from last year. That's my Mad Max Fury Road. Furiosa, I'm looking more forward to. It's not Charlize this time. It's Anna Taylor-Joy. I will watch something with her next year, Josh. I assure you. I don't hate her because if I hated her, I would have been like, I'll never watch a movie with her. But Hey, I have plenty of movies on streaming I could watch. Last Night in Soho, New Mutants, whatever. The Menu sounded kind of interesting, but it's not even a movie about cooking. It's like some psychological thriller or some. Hmm, that skirt. An hour and 11 minutes in. We're almost done. We got about 20 minutes left. 20 some minutes. Look at those eyes. I could get lost in those eyes for days. It's like Jennifer Connelly. I got to do a podcast with one of her movies so I can show you how attracted I am to her. That's right. Kiss her, Van Damme. Show her that you're heterosexual like me. Mm. Whoa, daddy. Jack Rayner and Will Poulter. Yeah. Mm. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Oh, my God. She kisses with such desire and, like passion. You saw? Just like Amanda Peet. Like when Bruce Willis kissed her head, I'm like, yeah, I don't blame her. I don't blame him. Mm. That's right, baby. I'm gonna mess up your hair. Mm. Yeah, Jack Ryder and Will Poulter, and Bill Poulter's gonna be in Guardians 3 as Adam Warlock. I'm like, why? Just why? I already don't care about Chris Pratt. Do you have to put another actor I don't care about in Guardians 3? They better put Gamora in that movie because I'm getting tired of the teasing. Like we haven't seen her since Endgame, and where did she go? Where? Uh, Excuse me. I know she fell in the pit, but at the end of Endgame, she showed up. Bank National. Partner and nice rewatch of the Maximum Risk. Thanks, man. I'm still doing it. I'm not done yet. I'm about an hour and 15 minutes in. So I got a few more minutes left in the third act. And I remember the third act being pretty fun. I still prefer Double Team only because it's more crazier and the action just keeps going. It doesn't stop for like 10 or 15 minutes. It takes a little break and then we get back to the crazy explosions and gunfire and the soda cans flying everywhere. Yeah, just that movie is nuts, but it's my kind of nuts. This henchman. He looks like Psycho Sid from WWF back in the day in WCW. Yeah, he looks just like him. It wasn't him though. Van Damme didn't work with a wrestler until like what? Universal Soldier: The Return when he had Goldberg in the movie. I would do Hard Target, but I don't have the Blu-ray for that. I need to get a copy of that movie on Blu-ray. Box. What's in the box? Monies. Yeah, monies. Whoa, a handgun. Puts that in the safety deposit box. Door going to Target because everything in the store was amazing in my opinion. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Target once they finally open in the mall because I'm like it's gonna be convenient. It's like 5 blocks from here, from where I live now, and Best Buy was running out of good physical media anyway. Target at least still has physical media. They're not embarrassed by it. Plus, Target has deals, and they sell food, and they also sell clothes. So they have pretty much everything I need. They barely sold clothes at Best Buy. They only had like a T-shirt whenever you bought a movie or something like that, but now not anymore. What if James Gunn writes an MCU movie that's not Guardians? He's busy doing the DCU now because he's still doing Peacemaker, and if Suicide Squad gets a third movie or a spinoff, he's going to be in charge now. But please write better. I don't need racist and sexist jokes anymore and gay jokes. It's not funny. Do something funny. Stop making references to things that kids are going to be dated in a few years. That's like Peacemaker saying, "I'm going to follow you on TikTok." I'm like, no. A Sony Walkman, well, a recorder, a tape recorder. Mm-hmm. An hour and 19 minutes now. We got, let's see, my battery is 46%. Okay. To rewatch the 2014 Godzilla, it was pretty awesome and cool memories that I had from 2014. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than some of the movies that came out this year or last year. Like Ape versus Monster is horrible because the effects are worse than a 90s movie. Are you livid that the Hercules remake is going to be inspired by TikTok? Why? Disney, you're that lazy you can't even make a new version. You got to make a social media version of something I'm not even I don't have I don't have a TikTok account. Next year I'll have one for my phone. And they have a French bank in New York City. I don't remember that unless I missed something. Province. That's right. Taste my foot. Taste my foot. He does look like Sid Vicious. It's crazy. And I like that this movie, it doesn't have 350 F bombs in a movie. Because there's some movies that I'm like, we get it. It's R rated. You don't have to say the F word every 2 seconds, like in a Kevin Smith movie. Sometimes he goes overboard. I'm like, we get it already. It's not meant for kids. Same thing with James Gunn. He has to put an F bomb every 2 minutes in F Peacemaker or the Suicide Squad. It's not good dialogue. It's just forced. They don't come up with original lines, so they have to throw in an F bomb in there just for no reason. It's lazy. South Park, I get away with it because it's a cartoon, but live action, it just feels very lazy. This is the third act of the movie. There has to be more action. This is not a drama. Godzilla 2014, King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong are way better than the Transformers movies. They're shorter. They're way shorter. They're not 3 hours long. And they're better than Avatar because they're not 3 hours long either. And at least there's human characters. We don't even need human characters. Why are there human characters in Avatar? Why? So they can have something to look at? Come on. You can do better than that. You might as well make the whole movie animated because that's what it looks like. Oh, we're training a blue Na'vi to use arrows. We're going to go in the water on a bunch of CGI dinosaurs and sea creatures. We're going to see floating mountains again. I don't care, okay? I don't care. Disney, you're responsible for this. That's why you bought Fox, so you can make this god-awful Avatar sequels. If not, James Cameron's movies the sequels would never have been made. I don't get it. I don't get why Avatar has to be the answer for every Disney's problem because they know they haven't made $1 billion since Star Wars. Without Marvel, they wouldn't have made another $1 billion ever again. Because nothing of theirs made $1 billion last year. Even the movies that were released in theaters, like Encanto and Luca was released in some territories, they didn't make $1 billion. Universal did, and Paramount. And Warner Brothers. Or they will anyway. Because this year alone, we had 2 movies that crossed the $1 billion mark. Top Gun Maverick and Jurassic World Dominion. Not perfect, but I've heard good things about Top Gun Maverick, and that's why people went to go see it. It wasn't affiliated. They didn't have to throw in religious agendas or gay agendas or woke female agendas or politics or any of that. They didn't need it. Just tell a good story and people will show up. Not bombard them with BS that they don't want to see in the news every day. And I do like this villain. I like him better than the villain in Black Widow or Eternals, whatever the hell villain that was. Uh-oh, watch it. Ooh, man. There's another broken glass window. Is that the French embassy in Manhattan? I don't know. Because that's a New York police. Ooh. Some of them are French, but yeah. Boom, baby. Wow, bullseye. See, you can't do a scene like this in a PG-13 movie. It's just they're going to cut away and there won't be any blood. Because everything has to be so safe. No, take some risks. The Batman took a big risk by being a strong PG-13. That movie did not feel like a kid's movie. Oh my God. The violence and the tone in that movie is just scary. My mom saw it and she was like this. I was shaking. When I saw the Riddler, I was like, oh my God. Nobody dressed like that at Comic-Con. That garbage bag looking Riddler with the glasses, with the mask like that. No, they wanted to make sure they could see someone's face because it's really scary. I bet that wasn't allowed because they have to have a mask that's visible that they can take off at, checkout, when you're checking into Comic-Con. They want people to be safe. They don't want it to be a terrorist. Ooh, there's an explosion. That's right, another broken glass. No, but still, double teams got you beat. That van was already totaled when they blew it up. Another broken glass window. Yeah, you should. You know what would be a crazy drinking game? Every time Van Damme or someone breaks a glass window in one of his films, you would be plastered by the end of the movie. Another glass window broken. I should do a count of how many times they break a window in this movie. No, it's gonna blow. Yep, another beautiful explosion. And again, unlike a Michael Bay movie where everything is exploding for no reason, this movie, there's a reason for it. They're shooting at cop cars. I think they filmed this in France because there's a lot of French things in the area, but they did film in New York City a lot. It wasn't like they were in New York for like 2 minutes. Marliere. That's right, Van Damme, run. This movie's pretty intense. It's still Double Team is just a better movie when it comes to how crazy it is. But this is worth watching on streaming, definitely. I would recommend it. For the action alone and Natasha Hendricks' gorgeous ass. So she's like the rock, one of the Rockettes that they're going to be beautiful no matter what color or shade or height or size they are. They're just, mwah, feminine. I love it. That's right. Chase. What's your favorite character of this movie? Natasha is one of my favorite characters because even though she doesn't do a lot of the action, she's just beautiful to look at. I love hearing her voice, and she's so feminine and never has to compromise. And Harvey Weinstein did not touch her. At least I don't think so. No, he probably wanted to get in her pants because he saw her in Species, and he's a creeper. Van Damme's good in the film, though. As a lead, he's more stoic. He's not jokey in this one compared to his other films, but he's not a robot either. Because if you see a movie like Universal Soldier Regeneration, it's way worse because he has no emotions just for the whole movie. More awesome explosions. Olivia Wilde, Caitlin Dever, America Ferrera, Cara Delevingne. I take Olivia and Caitlin. The other two can bite me. Because Olivia, I've met her. She is beautiful. I met her at a Q&A for her movie Booksmart when she was directing that. And unbelievably gorgeous. I couldn't stop looking at her. And Caitlin, I want to meet her one day. Because I got to meet that girl. I have to. Who am I kidding? She's one of the most desirable things in this world. You saw there's pig bodies everywhere. Hung up pig bodies. I know what a pig's body looks like, yeah. Yeah, we're in the third act because there's an hour and 30 minutes and the movie's an hour and 41, but without the end credits, it's probably 137. Then right in the shoulder. Mm-hmm. Because I love that every kissing scene that Natasha Henstridge does, she does it with just so much grace that she wants it. I'm like, yeah, I want it. I don't care if she's 40 in her 40s now. She's still a female. That was a good stunt. The stunt work in Double Team is better, but this movie also has some pretty good stunt work. A chainsaw. Again, that's like what they're gonna do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and Leatherface is in the movie at the end, and not throughout. That last bad Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix was terrible, but at least Leatherface is in the movie, and it's shorter than Halloween Ends. I'd rather sit through that garbage than sit through Halloween Ends. At least it's not false advertisement. That's awesome. He's using a chain. That was a really good stunt. He's swinging on the freaking hooks. Yep. Right in the crotch. It's like a scene from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Take your pick. The original, the sequels, or even the remake. Olivia Wilde is a month older than Mariah Ferrara. Yeah, and she's only 2 months older than me. Well, not 3 months. 9 months. Her birthday's in March. Yeah, 9 months. About 9 or 10 months. Close to 9.5. Well, that was a pretty cool climax. It was something different with the chainsaws and the pig bodies. Yeah, it's like a dead heat when they showed when they showed the pig bodies and the produce. I mean the meat products turn alive. Yeah, that movie's a good movie. I need to see it again. It's been so many years since I've seen Dead Heat. It's out of print, so I'll have to get it on Amazon. There she is. This Yeah, this was a fun movie. I still like watching it again. Despite both of them being born in 96, Florence is almost a year older than Caitlyn, but it doesn't matter to me because Caitlyn's more desirable. Have you seen her nose? That alone is sexier than anything that freaking Florence could ever give me. She looks like she's 16. Look at her in the trailer for Black Widow. I thought she was 16 when she filmed that. I'm like, you're smaller than Scarlett Johansson, and she's not a tall woman, and yet you look like a child. Sorry, but no thanks. I have women that are shorter than you that are better looking than you, like Natalie Lind. That's who should have played Black Widow, Yelena in the first place. Nice happy ending for the two of them. They don't die, and it's got sunshine. It's like a better version of Mission Impossible 2. Because that ending made no sense, because it doesn't add to the next movie. It's never mentioned again. That was Masculine Risk, guys. Thank you, Ringo Lam, for this movie. It's very entertaining. Still very entertaining. Not his best movie, but definitely not his worst. Not even close. It's good, and I would definitely recommend it. So if you have Netflix or Hulu or wherever this movie's streaming, watch it. It's worth a watch. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'll see you next week for another podcast, and be safe because the month of November is long. The weather's been unpredictable. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.